now changed his hat, and he's going to present on behalf of ISOC. It's Jan George again, and your presentation should be there. Okay, well,
there we go.
Go ahead, Jan.
So let me see if I can get this. Hello, Jan George again, now with a very different hat of Internet Society. I will briefly talk about the work that we've been doing, that I've been after for the last half of the year. I will go very quickly, so we have another presentation after me, so we can go for coffee a bit earlier. You learned about me already. Quick introduction about Deploy 360 program. This is a team inside the Internet Society that is co-working with the Standards and Technology team run by Leslie Daigle. We are aiming to put the operational and deployment information on our website and some deployment-oriented documentation to help the operators to deploy new technologies and new protocols like IPv6, DNSSEC, and to improve the routing resiliency on the internet. What is our challenge? The ITF creates protocols that are based on the OMPA standards, but some of them are not known or widely deployed. So we want to provide hands-on information to advance the real-world deployment of these protocols and work with the technology experts to advance the whole thing. Okay, so about the creating regional repositories of best current operational practices around the world. What is the challenge? So best current operational practices today are shared in many different ways. So we have hallway conversations, we have operator group presentations, we have email lists, we have web forum threads, we have personal relationship, and we have many different ways how to share the current operational practice. As I discussed also with some working group chairs, actually some working groups are meant to document the best current operational practice, especially in RIPE region. But this information is scattered around. So what is the challenge? There is currently no quick and easy way for somebody to find the best current operational practices that are agreed amongst the operators and have some sort of credibility that what they find is actually useful and correct. So what we are aiming to do is to somehow build a credible repository of documents that are agreed by the operators, regionally or maybe later on globally. There is lots of clutter in IT space. If you go to Google and type deploy IPv6, you get gazillion of hits, but you don't know what is real, what is correct, and what is not. So here we are aiming to actually destyle the information that is available and make it available online and for free. The solution idea. Currently, we are asking the community for the ideas. We have one idea. I'm not saying that is correct or the only one, but it is an idea. So the community is to decide if this is going to happen or not. So we believe that a neutral and regionally organized repositories could help in different ways, speed up the deployment of IPv6 and DNSSEC, could make the routing infrastructure more resilient, and not every operator travels a lot around for meetings and meets other people. So these guys are usually searching the web and trying to figure out how to do stuff. So we are aiming into helping these guys also to get the valid information. Many times I get the same question, what is different between BCP, the IETF series, and BCOP? BCOP is best current operational practice. It can be written only by experienced operators that agree to each other. BCPs can be written actually by anyone. And we are committed to assist in this process if the process takes place. If the community says, no, this is not needed, go away, then we will reconsider our ideas. So what we are aiming at is to create some discussion groups inside the regions and try to talk the operators to come together and talk to each other and actually agree what needs to be done. And inside these groups, so there are many presentations from the operators about, okay, I deployed IPv6, this and this and this, and are actually, in majority of cases, are used just to come up on stage and show off and say, oh, I deployed IPv6, and then it stops there. In this case, if there is a presentation in a discussion group, this means not I just deployed IPv6 and I'm showing off, but it means, okay, I have this experience and I'm searching for other people with the same experience that would help me put this into the document and start something useful. Then we can have an open discussion about what operators need to ease the deployments and actually what they need from the standardization process in order to make their deployment easier. Because there is a gap between standardization and operational security that we need to bridge somehow. There is some operational feedback in the IETF, but we would like to see more operational feedback to the IETF so the standards could be done better. We went around the world. We have been in many continents and we are seeing some progress. A few things are starting out around the planet. Here is the list. We have been, I flew like 80,000 miles in half of a year to talk to the operators around the world, and we're getting some good results. It started in NANOG with IPBCOP effort, and now it's the same idea is going around the world. We got enormous feedback from RIPE community in Dublin. That was really, really useful. Community was concerned about the top-down rigid process that was the idea at the beginning. We changed it top-down. So we have no more top-down rigid structure. We are not top-heavy anymore. And we are directing our efforts and resources into regional efforts, into helping regional efforts to come together and start doing the work. And basically, I don't have any preferences. This is the working group, or this is different working groups that does the work to document the best current practice. Basically, I don't have a preference. We just need to get the work done. This was the first idea. And you see, it is very top-heavy. It had the global committee and the secretariat and all that stuff that apparently operators don't want and don't want to hear about. So we said no. Because we want to listen to the community, what community wants, and not just push the idea forward. Does not matter what happens. So we changed the proposal, the idea. Let's create the regional BCOPs. Let's start documenting stuff. Let's start doing the work. And then maybe the communication need will emerge in a natural way, right? So for these groups to communicate with each other. We put up a simple website with BCOP topics that we identified, and simple idea, simple information what's going on around the world. And we already identified, RIPE NCC was kind enough to create a mailing list for us. It's bcop@ripe.net. And we already identified some topics that we could work on. These are many different topics, what should be documented. And another thing that actually I'm starting inside the BCOP effort is we need to remove the next speed bump of in IPv6 deployment. So one of the first speed bumps was addressed by RIPE 554. Mark is showing me 2 minutes. He's so obviously bored. So the next speed bump, I've been talking to the operators around the world, and the next speed bump is lack of IPv6 knowledge at ISP help desks. So we are starting the document that would put together generic IPv6 troubleshooting procedures for help desks around the world. We would like to be able, that technical people is able to hand over the simple document with the procedures to the help desk manager and say, listen, we are deploying this, we're rolling it out, then this is what your people need to know. And this could be a first cross-region cooperation effort, as every region is probably a bit different. So just quick update to what's going around the world. We're starting in Africa region, in Latin America. We are starting BCOP at Curacao meeting. North America has the NANOG BCOP. In Europe, we have another BOF in Athens. Middle East, I'm here today to talk about this. And Asia, seed planted at APNIC meeting by Philip. Advantages. It is about the common understanding of best current operational practices, and actually the documents that are created by the operators may, that's RFC 2119 may, prevent governments from creating and mandating their own operational practices document. And this is the big incentive for the operators to come together and start putting something together so we could, in the future, when the governments may gain some regulation, rights in the internet, we may point them to the repository that has the operators agreed operational practices. And if we don't have this, the governments may invent their own rules how to run the internet. And I don't want to think about this option. And we are trying to improve the communication between the operators globally. So this is a hypothetical question. Who in the room is willing to participate in this BCOP process? If you are willing to participate, join one of the BCOP groups or send me an email and I will direct you forward, because I can see Marco jumping up and down on his chair. He did not show me stop yet.
No, but I can do it. No, I'm not rushing you. It's just that we have another presenter coming up after you.
Yes, okay.
Realize it's getting late. It's not.
Yes.
It's not that it's your talk. It's just.
Was I fast enough?
I think you are.
Okay.
Anyway,
thank you. Any questions?
Any questions for Jan? I mean, we can always take questions, or you can find them in the breaks. Thank you, Jan. Please help him. Please write down the stuff you do. Now, I realize it's getting pretty late, and we've got one more presentation for you to show, which is Fedi.